So we're back. This is Senate Government Operations. We're going to be looking yet again at another kind of emergency bill related to our COVID numbers and how we're making accommodations for not only municipalities, but other public entities also. We passed the town meeting bill and we passed the yesterday passed the open meeting law, eliminating the requirement that there be a physical location where people could attend. And today we had a number of questions about two things. One was, I'm sure you all got it, about signatures. And in fact, we heard it on the floor this morning when Senator Perchlik asked about it. And the other one was about school, if they could send out their ballots together. And both of them seemed a little more complicated than putting into the original town meeting bill or the open meeting law. So Tucker has put together a draft for us. And I realized he had another, oh,
he's back.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tucker. So if you'd like to walk us through this.
Is it posted? 222 seems to be up for today.
No, I also emailed it to you.
Oh, okay. Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes.
To switch pages then.
It's drafting request 22-0544, draft 1.1.
And when did you email it to us?
About 5 minutes ago. I think everybody got it.
Oh,
Yep.
I got it.
Did somebody
Right.
say no? Oh, Gwen, I did not send it to you. I sent it to Karen. Let me. Karen, can you?
I can send it to Gwen or Karen can.
Yeah.
Karen can forward it.
Okay. All right. So Tucker, do you want to tell us what's going on here?
Good afternoon, Tucker Anderson, Office of Legislative Counsel. The draft committee bill that you have in front of you contains two operative provisions. The first, starting in section 1, subsection A, would allow a person to, states that a person shall not be required to collect voter signatures in order to have the person's name placed on the ballot as a candidate for a local election that is held at a 2022 annual municipal meeting. So a person could have their name placed on the ballot for the annual meeting without having to meet the signature requirements under general law. Second provision, subsection B, notwithstands specific provisions within Title 16, any other provision of law, or any school district article of agreement that requires the ballots of member municipalities to be commingled by the district, and allows the legislative body of a school district to vote that ballots for the 2022 annual district meeting shall not be commingled before counting. The ballots may be counted by each member town and the results reported to the school district clerk for determination of the official district-wide results. And under those general law provisions that you see that apply to school districts and union school districts in 16 VSA section 706W and 711E, one is a mandatory provision for the commingling of the ballots that districts receive from their member towns, and the other is an optional provision, but some school districts have opted into commingling their ballots and are now mandated by that section to commingle. So this lifts both of those and articles of agreement that require commingling and will allow the districts to receive reports on the counted ballots from their member municipalities.
And does this address the issue that Senator Polina and the other Washington County senators had around their career center?
My understanding was that that was a concern specific to the mailing of ballots
Mhm.
under S-172, which did pass the House today and is on the way to the governor.
Oh,
Uh,
great.
And I don't know if there was a miscommunication at some point, but I did reach out to my colleagues who handle education issues in legislative council, and they assured me that the career technical centers with a very narrow specific exclusion would all be incorporated under that bill, under the definition of municipalities. And because we were notwithstanding both the school district requirements and the general election law requirements, that the career technical centers, even those that serve multiple municipalities and perhaps bridge school districts, would be included. And I can send you the reference, but there's one very specific exclusion from that. And it covers maybe one or two of those CTCs. And there's, from what I understand, a specific reason why they don't use Australian ballot systems.
Yeah, I think we ran into that last year with those two career centers. Senator Clarkson?
So, well, there are 3 independent career and technical education centers. Is that what we're talking about? Well, there are, so will this cover the 3 independent ones, Manchester, Springfield, and Middlebury? Those are the 3 independent, they are their own independent districts, and they are not, I mean, they are as we've found with ARPA money, sadly, they're not included in all the regular stuff. So we want to make sure whatever provision we're making for career and technical education centers be that all of them, including the 3 independents, are included.
I just brought up my notes, and the only CTE centers that would not be included in that definition of municipality and whose Australian balloting provisions were not withstood by the previous bill are CTE centers that are part of a comprehensive high school under 16 VSA section 1546. And in that instance, those particular centers are embedded within another educational corporation that will be able to use the Australian ballot authority under the previous bill. So they're covered.
Great, thank you.
Any questions for Tucker at this point? And it's very clear in here that it's just for local elections, that the signature requirement is waived.
Yes, and to back up Senator White, under that subsection A, it's even more specific. It is just for the annual meeting.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
Committee questions? So
Okay.
Will, Chris, do you want to weigh in?
I'll weigh in real quick. Thank you, Senator White, and thank you all for your work on the town meeting bill. It's amazing. It got through in 4 days. It passed out of the House today. I think it's headed to the governor's desk. That's got to be some kind of record. We needed that one right away, and you recognized that and got it done, which is great. And that's why we were fearful of adding any of these other provisions to that bill. And we weren't sure, to be honest, how much of an outcry there was going to be for the signatures or for the commingling piece, but that seems to have gained some momentum as you came into session. So we're getting more and more requests for that. So I think it makes a lot of sense to put it into a separate bill. And Senator White, thank you for being so responsive last night, and Tucker for working your magic late at night last night to get us into the position where we are today, just barely 24 hours later, to be looking at a bill. We think this does the trick. I think this is language that Will has worked on and sent to Tucker. The commingling ballots language, Will can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he talked to the Agency of Education about that last year when we used it in a directive. So it's got kind of the thumbs up from them. They would like to, there's a reason that commingling provision is in there and they'd like it to be there, but I think they understood under the circumstances to waive it for this year, to waive it once again this year. So I think we're good with this bill. It looks pretty straightforward, and I'd leave it to Will to add any any more comments, any detail from our perspective?
Really quickly, and hello to Senate GovOps. Nice to see all of you in the new year. No, I think Chris pretty much covered it. I would just clarify or just make clear that the language for removing the signatures requirement is, I think, and Tucker can nod, an exact copy essentially of what was passed in Act 162, which was that act that you passed as the final act of the 2020 session, looking ahead to the 2021 annual meetings, and worked very well. So I think it should be all set. And then the language regarding commingling, like Chris just said, Deputy Secretary said, comes mostly directly from the directive that we issued pursuant to the authority you gave us to issue a directive about modifying election procedures last year for local meetings. And that provision also was taken advantage of by a number of districts, and they really appreciated the ability to not have to do that commingling process during the pandemic.
Any
Otherwise, I
questions?
guess I really don't want to, and I don't think we all should as a committee, or you all should as a committee, wade in too much to the Career Center stuff right now, because it's not particularly pertinent to this bill. But just keep in mind the distinction that the previous bill that just got passed through the House today just authorizes the use of Australian ballot. It doesn't further authorize the mailing of ballots to all voters. And in order to do the proactive mailing of ballots to all voters under the Australian ballot system, they need to follow the provisions you all passed in Act 60 last year, which requires the assent of the member towns in a school district before you can mail ballots out to all voters. But this bill is simple, concise, and I think will be really effective. So I appreciate you guys taking it up. And we have gotten a flood of emails and questions about both of these issues, signatures and commingling. So I think it is a real need.
And so have we.
Yep, I'm sure.
So, Carol, do you want to welcome? We haven't seen you yet this year. Of course, we've only been here for 3 days.
And passed 2 bills.
And I only heard about this one a little while ago. So while Will was talking, I was able to read it. So that's a good thing. Yes, I got several emails earlier today. I had a clerk contact me and say to apologize that she had gotten this ball rolling by contacting Senator Perchlik and Senator White. And I said to her, no, I appreciated that she came clean and told me about it, but that it was something that I had been hearing a lot of. So I think it's very helpful to many people, myself included. I currently serve as clerk of or treasurer of the Barre Unified Union School District, and those positions are elected by at a floor meeting the night before town meeting, and they're considering going to Australian ballot under the 172 that was passed earlier today. And if that were to happen, I would have to race around and collect 60 signatures on a petition in the next 2 weeks. So I'm one of those people who would benefit from this bill. So that's just an example of why it's an important bill to pass. As far as commingling, the biggest concern, of course, is health. And making sure that people don't have to gather together. I heard you mention the Career Center vote, and that's something that we're going to have to deal with regards to the Central Vermont Career Center, which is holding a creation vote on March 1st. But it's the potential that I'm going to need to have 18 different towns all gathered together to tally the ballots, to commingle the ballots, to review each one for write-ins. And if we're able to lobby the school boards and the planning committee to do away with commingling, that will be a big advantage for us too. From a health and safety, I don't want to gather together. Would love to spend time with 17 of my fellow clerks, but If we can find a safer way to do it, then that's a good thing.
Thank you. Gwen, Karen?
Thank you. And thank you for taking up this bill. You have been quite busy this week. We appreciate all your focus on these issues. And this bill works for us. We're not commenting necessarily on the commingling piece of it, but it certainly makes a lot of sense with respect to the candidate signature. So sorry. I
Gwen,
don't
did
know.
you want-
Yeah, if Gwen has anything to add.
So committee, any questions? I do have to say that, we've been getting a lot of thanks from people for acting quickly here. But the real thanks, I think, goes to Tucker for whipping these out pretty quickly. And also because we've passed these before, there wasn't a lot of controversy around them. We've taken testimony in the past on each of these issues. And so I think that the thanks goes to Tucker and the Secretary of State's office and the league for keeping us on our toes here. We just take them and pass them. You do all the work.
Here,
Senator Clarkson.
And I not only would like to thank them, but I'd also like to thank our constituents because they have confidence that by communicating with us, they'll get things done. And this really should be 3 examples of communication from our constituents in cooperation and coordination with the league and the Secretary of State's office. We've gotten these 3 things done, and it just, as Sarah Bruce, who testified the other day in our committee, she sent a lovely email to me just saying it was so exciting to see democracy in action by that whole process. So I think that's also a shout out to how we work here in Vermont.
So anybody have anything would anybody like to make a motion on this one?
I
Senator
never, because it
Hinsdale?
counts the votes, but I move that I don't even.
It's
That we
draft
cre-
22-0544 draft 1.1
As a committee bill.
as a committee bill.
Did I move that or did Allison? I find it.
You did. You did a great job. It's a team effort.
Okay, are we ready? Okay, Senator Rom Hinsdale, do you want to call the roll?
Senator Clarkson,
Yes.
Senator Collmore,
Yes.
Senator Polina,
Yes.
myself, Senator Rom Hinsdale, yes. Senator White.
Yes.
5 votes.
Would someone like to report this?
I would just suggest, since Anthony was doing the other bill when the question came up, maybe it seems like there's a connection, to Senator Perchlik's question and all that.
That's very good.
Here. I would second that suggestion.
What's the suggestion?
But you are the reporter.
I wasn't paying
here.
attention.
You're the reporter.
You did
No.
such a rocking job with 222 that we nominate you to do this.
And Anthony, I hope you remember from yesterday how you get this committee bill up to Secretary Bloomer.
Well, it actually was pretty hit or miss yesterday, to tell you the truth. I mean, I'm not sure we did it right or not. I mean, we
Okay.
did it right eventually, but I'm
Well,
not sure. I
It
couldn't
got
tell
there.
point A to point B.
Maybe
But
I'll
we-
send a note to Secretary Bloomer right now and tell him we have a bill coming.
Oh,
And
good idea.
Tell
and
it
he
to
should contact you.
Okay, or before I leave the building, if you want, tell him it's a committee bill. And on my way out the door, I'll tell him that we'd like to take it up on Tuesday.
Madam
Perfect.
Chair,
Yes.
the protocol is that I send the Senate Secretary's office an email as soon as we vote it.
Okay.
Oh. Then I'll
Good.
step back. I'll step back.
Okay. And so will I.
Okay, Tucker had his hand up.
I was going to say that the Legislative Council Drafting Operations Office also needs to be included on that message because the bill won't move forward until apparently I have certified the version of the bill and Drafting Ops has approved it to go to the Senate Secretary's office. So
So who
that's
does Gail copy?
the
Does that
LC
come
draft.
from the reporter, Tucker, or does that come from me?
It has to come from the reporter.
Okay.
And that goes to Nadine.
Nadine retired.
Dean
Really?
retired, so now it goes to Caitlin.
So
We need Kate, I don't. Caitlin's-
Anthony, I am going to send an email to Secretary Bloomer and tell him that it is coming and that, and I'll copy you on it and Gail so that, and then we'll make sure that it goes to him and to whoever it is at Ledge Council. I'm not sure who it is.
Madam Chair, if you would also include Helen and Vanessa in your email, that would be
Okay.
terrific.
Okay, great, will do.
And I
And-
just want to be, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just want to be clear, the commingling thing is really about safety. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
because when I first read the draft, I was kind of like, I mean, I understood what it said, but I wasn't sure how it was different from in the past. In other words, I get my ballot for the school and I mail it back to my town. I don't mail it back to, I mail it back to the school district. I'm not sure. I'm just confused about how commingling ends up happening.
Carol, do you want to?
Sure.
Or
In the where commingling is called for, what happens is that ballots go back to your town, as you said, Senator Polina, and then the clerk in those towns are responsible for bringing the ballots
Okay.
to the host community where they are all tallied together.
Okay, I thought that was the case, but I wasn't sure. My wife actually used to do that, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, do we yet know who is, this is going to in Ledge Council?
Tucker did mention a name.
Caitlin,
Hey,
Yeah, but who's Caitlin? I can't just write Caitlin.
Tucker, do we know Caitlin's last name?
I think they want it to send to drafting operations.
But who
And it
is
should-
that?
Who's Kate?
Well, it's the whole department.
I know, but it has to be sent to somebody. I can't,
Tucker's back.
okay,
I just sent you an email with the group tag. If you start typing in LC drafting, it will autofill with the whole team. And that's who
Got
it can be sent to, so that if someone's out for any particular reason, they get the message.
Thanks, Tucker.
I'm writing LCDRAFTING and not, that it isn't telling me there is no such person. Maybe because I've never used that before. Is it
I
at
got-
LEG?
I got l-council@montpelier.vt.org. That doesn't sound quite right either.
But he just sent it to Gail, I think. Gail, do you have it?
Yeah, I can take care of it if you want.
Okay,
That would be great for
Yeah.
today.
So I don't
So
have to-
we'll-
Just to be clear, then I don't have to do anything. You're going to send it to whoever it has to be sent to.
I'm going to copy you, Senator Polina, and you
Sure.
might have to confirm that it's the correct copy. Or they might get fussy about it and ask you to send it directly.
Okay, well, all right.
okay, all right. Do we need to do anything more?
I think you need to vote.
Oh,
Wait, I
we
thought-
did
No,
vote.
did vote.
we voted.
Madam Chair, I have a question for Carol.
We voted.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear a roll call, so. it was
Yeah,
just
she
unanimous?
read the roll.
Okay.
May I ask a question, Madam Chair?
Yeah.
Carol and Chris and Will, would you be kind enough to communicate with clerks that this is coming down the pike?
I
Because
actually
a ton of
sent an
people are going to
email.
be wanting to.
Yep, I sent out an email out a little while ago, letting them know about passage of 172, letting them know about the open meeting law stuff that was coming out, and also letting them know that this was in the pipeline. So,
Carol, you are fabulous.
Carol, does that resolve the Career Center issue as well?
I'm not 100% sure, but I will coordinate with Will to find out. The way my interpretation of the way the language is written is that we will need to request that the school boards, the 18 school boards, approve not commingling.
Right.
But I may be misinterpreting it. I just read it 37 seconds ago.
Will, Chris?
I think we're good. Yep. And thank you, Carol, for getting the word out.
Carol, I will follow up with you on that specific issue. We can talk it through.
And can you also let Senator Polina know so that if the question comes up on the floor, he can respond? Because it did come from his community.
It
Yes.
came from Marshfield, so yeah, it was part
And
of the group that's,
Well, and also Senator Perchlik, I don't remember.
Yeah,
if
they
he asked
actually,
about that.
they actually sent it to Perchlik directly, and then Perchlik sent it to me, and then I sent it to Tucker. And Tucker sent it to Will or something. I don't know what happened after Tucker, to tell you the truth.
And
but-
Will sent it to me, and then I sent it to my uncle. And
Right,
then
right.
I actually sent Senator Perchlik some statutory language just about half an hour ago. He was looking for where commingling was actually mentioned in statute. So I sent him some of those links. So
Okay.
I don't know whether it would be helpful for me to forward that to you, Senator White, or at this stage of the game, the heck with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Okay, so committee, we have done that, right? Now, I just want to let you know what, so that you have a sense of, I think I went over it yesterday about next week's.
Oh, I have to go get him.
At
So we late then, probably.
2:30, I mean, at 1:30 on Tuesday, Brian, we'll do the GAC bill. And if you would check with Justin and whoever to see if we really need to do that or not.
I will.
Okay, and then 2 o'clock, I have that we're gonna walk through the planning office bill, that's S96. And at 3 o'clock, the walk through S155, which is the Agency of Public Safety. And,
Oh,
There he is.
oh,
What a
oh,
beauty.
he is delicious.
oh.
He is so beautiful.
He's just a
Hey,
baby.
Secretary Bloomer.
Well, he
Look,
won't
Max.
be that size for very long is the challenge.
Is that Secretary Bloomer there?
You're a puppy.
Dinner.
He's hungry. He likes to eat.
Madam Chair, I'm going to unmute because Secretary Bloomer's here and
I
will
know.
explain the process in 25 words or less.
Okay,
Too much pressure. So generally, Senator Polina has to let the drafter know, sign it, and then you go to drafting. We do not put the bill on the calendar. It would be introduced on Tuesday morning, just like the one this morning, the 222. So once that gets into drafting, they'll print it up. You may want to tell them you want to do it for Tuesday, otherwise it may be, queue that doesn't get us to Wednesday. So if that makes sense to you, but we don't need the actual bill. It goes to drafting because it's a committee bill and not a report. Was anybody counting words?
It's about 25.
that was about. So Senator Polina, you need to send it to them. And
To
you
who?
need to tell them that
To
we
him?
want it Tuesday.
Senator
Because I-
Polina,
Yep,
I sent it to drafting operations, and if you just want to do like a reply all saying
Right.
that you need it by Tuesday, then everybody will get it, and I think we'll be copacetic.
Tuesday at 9:30.
Who's the drafter? Tucker. I'll go out to drafting right now, operations, and let them know.
Okay, thank you.
so
Thank
do I have to do it? Do I have to do anything? I'm confused. I thought I had stuff to do. Now I'm not sure I need to do anything.
We
Yes.
need you to make sure that you approve the bill. You have to tell Tucker and/or drafting. And I'm gonna go out and push them to make sure it's done by Tuesday.
Okay,
So
Thank
you're gonna
you,
send an
John.
email to whoever Gail sent it to and do reply all and say, yes, we approve this and we want it by Tuesday.
yep.
Okay. All right.
Thank you,
So-
John.
Next Wednesday, we are going to do the State House Oversight Committee. And we've got David
got
Sheep and
Steve-
whatever
Steve-
his
Steve-
name is.
Steve Perkins.
Yeah.
Who, chair of the committee.
Yep.
And David and Ruth and Ruth might float in to join me because we are very engaged with this work. But we'll see.
Yes, yes, okay. But we will hear from the chair and, okay, and
Yeah.
then we are also going to start taking testimony on the ethics bill 171 on Tuesday. So if there's anybody that should be invited, we've invited, I don't even remember who at this point, but if there's
Tom
somebody that
Zonay.
you, huh?
You invited Tom Zonay, right, from Judiciary?
I think we did. I have to check and see.
Yes, we did.
Okay. But if you can think of anybody that needs to be there to weigh in on this, just send me a note or send Gail a note. Okay. And Friday, remember, then we will take up pensions again.
Okey-doke.
Oh, and Thursday we'll go through the municipal bill that they have 181 and 175, which is a repeat of 107, which was vetoed by the governor last year, but it wasn't vetoed because of the bill. It was vetoed because he had issues with the underlying bill, the underlying thing, which was raise the age. And Judiciary has just passed out an amended version of raise the age. So this bill will be tracking that one. So we'll have, I don't remember who drafted it. And now I will go to my 3 o'clock meeting.
What? It's 4:15.
I know.
So are we saying adieu?
I am. If you want to keep on, you can.
No, thank you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Brian.